it's been a while since I've done an Empties video, so I thought I would show you what I have in my bag here that I keep in my closet. If you guys love to share Empties on your social channel or on your blog or that kind of thing, I know it's always like weird, just like a bag of like empty product. You're like, there's a reason for this. In fact, when we moved, I hadn't done my Empties yet, and I was like, well, we have to move with that bag of Empties. And Stan's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, I haven't done the Empties yet. I mean, I can't just throw it away. I have to talk about it and review everything. All right, so first starting with the Glossier Milky Jelly Cleanser. I love this. I feel like you either love it or hate it. I love it. The jelly texture is really smooth. It takes off makeup for me. It's a great second cleanse. It's a great morning cleanse. It's a great cleanse. Anytime, any time of the year, every time I go back to this, I love how it feels in my skin. It emulsifies really easily and washes away very quickly, and I find it takes off all my makeup. Next, the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. One of my favorite cleansing balms. It's such a great, it's not too greasy, but not too thin, not too thick. It does a great job of taking off makeup. You don't need a muslin cloth with it. I find that it's just like a safe, no muss, no fuss cleansing balm. By safe, I mean, I feel like if you love cleansing balms, you're going to like it. If you're not sure about cleansing balms, you're new to cleansing balms, I think you'll like it. And you don't need a lot of extra things like a muslin cloth or to rinse over and over again or go back in with something to take off eye makeup. I feel like it's like one and done. The Erin Rosewater Face Mist. I always say a mist is just a mist, but this really wowed me. More so, I mean, the product was very hydrating and soothing, but it was the mist itself coming from the nozzle. I kept talking about this in my Insta stories. It was just this delicate, fine mist. It was just like little droplets. It was the perfect amount, the perfect, I don't know, pressure that came out. It was, I feel like all face mist should use this as the gold standard. Because sometimes you put a face mist and you're like, oh, but I wasn't ready and now my face is drenched or it got in my eye or whatever. This is perfect. The Is Clinical Cleansing Complex. Especially if you have acne-prone skin or suffer from breakouts or blemishes, this is a really great cleanser. It's a gel cleanser. It foams up slightly. I didn't find it to be drying though, but I can still use it even when my skin is not breaking out. It's great for very, very sensitive skin. It helps to balance the skin. So it doesn't strip the skin of your natural oils that you need. Even if you're dry, oily, whatever, you need oil on your skin. And it just helps to balance the skin really well. And I feel like it's a cleansing gel that anyone can use. Pretty much, it's one of those, I feel like any age range, any skin type or whatnot, I feel like can benefit from trying this cleansing gel. All right, what do I have next here? Finish the Loam cleanser. Now I have to say a few of these were like down to like the very bottom, so I just like finally finished them. I love the standard Loam cleanser. However, it's a little bit gritty, so I think of it a little bit more as like a treatment cleanser or an exfoliating cleanser. It doesn't have scrubbies, but it has some like texture to it. I really like the Gel Balm cleanser. I feel like I like it a little bit more than the Loam regular. I mean, I love this one and I've loved it for years, but the Gel Balm is a little bit creamier and it's just amazing. So if you haven't tried that yet and you are an Loam fan, that's a definite one to try. I'll link that down below. Next, from SkinMedica, the HA5. It's a hydrator for the skin. But it's different. It's a very thick, kind of gel-like texture, like a creamy gel texture. So I wouldn't think of this as an essence or even a serum. It's much thicker than a serum, so I like to use it sometimes as a moisturizer or before I put on my moisturizer, but it's very hydrating. It really helps to put moisture back into the skin, hold on to moisture levels in the skin. It has hyaluronic acid in it, and it's a very, very popular product. It's one of their most popular products that they make, and I can see why. It kind of plumps everything up, but it's a weird texture. It's not kind of wet or your skin doesn't look kind of like dewy or glowy or fresh afterwards. It's kind of this like gel like a mattifying gel. It's very strange and hard to explain, but it's absolutely fantastic. I definitely think it's worth the price point. Many of you have talked to me about it over the years. Before I tried it, you were like, you have to try this product. It's fantastic. I finished a hand cream, the L'Occitane. I think this is like the Neroli and Orchid scent. Whatever scent it is, I love all L'Occitane hand creams. I'm very picky about hand creams because I just don't like the feel of them on my hands. I don't know. Even when my hands are dry, I'm like, I don't want to put anything on them. Except for the L'Occitane hand creams. They're the least greasy, slimy. They absorb right into the skin. I don't feel like I have to wash my hands afterwards. You guys ever do that? Am I the only one that puts on hand cream? Which I understand defeats the purpose of hand cream. But I'll put it on, and then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, I gotta wash my hands. I don't know. Sometimes I just cannot take the feel of it. But this is one of the few brands that I don't have to rinse off afterwards. I know, it's weird. Finished a concealer, the Clarins Instant Concealer. Talked about this many times. It is a great concealer. It is a medium coverage, very lightweight, blends beautifully, does not kind of settle into fine lines, but does a really good job of concealing. When you first put it on, you're like, is this really going to conceal? Because it feels very lightweight. And then surprisingly, like everything's gone. Like darkness, it just immediately, it's not exceptionally brightening, but I find that it just makes my, also it has a very creamy texture, so it makes my under eye area look nice and hydrated. Rather than some concealers dry down and they can be very like a drier finish. And for me, it just emphasizes fine lines, crepiness, everything. And this does not. Been using that for years. I finished a mascara, the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Volume. Let's see if I can show you the brush here. Love this mascara. Have loved it for years. It's one of my holy grail favorite mascaras and really does a good job of giving strong, bold, false lash effect look. I finished an essence, and this one's by Misha. It's the First Treatment Essence Intensive. A lot of you guys have asked me to review different types of essences at different price points and see if they're similar to the SK2. I didn't think it was. I didn't see as much brightness. I didn't see as much of a retexturizing on the skin as I do with the SK2. I really noticed that my skin begins to look very smooth. The texture begins to change. It looks very bright, very even tone. I just felt like this was hydrating, and that's it. It just didn't really, it wasn't a win for me. Oh, this was a win. The CEO Serum by Sunday Riley. I just did a recent brand review video on almost all of the Sunday Riley products, so I'll link that below. I love it. It's one of my favorite vitamin C serums. It's creamy, it's not tacky, not sticky. It does a great job of brightening, and I love it. That's it. That's no other word can describe it better besides I love it. Next, the Colleen Rothschild Radiant Cleansing Balm. Another very easy cleansing balm to try. It's not as oily as, let's say, the Elemis. That one is a little bit more oily. This is a little bit thicker and a little kind of more compact. But this does a great job of removing makeup. I feel like it emulsifies beautifully. It's just a very easy cleansing balm to use. And I feel that if you love cleansing balms, this is a great one to try, or if you're new to cleansing, especially if you're new to cleansing balms, this could really be a great one to kind of get into and to try for the first time. I've been using it for years. I still love it. I go back to it every time and I'm like, oh, I love it every time I go back to it. The Caudalie Micellar Cleansing Water. I would use this sometimes to take off eye makeup or, when I wear hats. And if I had done my makeup for the day, but I'm going to put on a hat, I don't wear foundation on my forehead when I'm wearing a hat. I know, I don't like getting foundation on my hats, even though it's inevitable. Like I'm going to get some on there, but I don't want them to be totally caked in makeup. So I just take off the makeup on my forehead and I use like a micellar cleansing water. I don't know, it was okay. I love a lot of Caudalie products, but that was just, I don't know. To me, micellar cleansing waters are all the same. I know many of you will be like, no, I'm a diehard Bioderma or a Aven or whatever. They're just not, they don't excite me, micellar waters. I just feel like, okay, it's a water, so it doesn't do much for me. Now, cleansing oil, a cleansing balm, I'm much more excited about, but a micellar water just feels very bleh. So, yeah, not really excited about it. The Dr. Brandt Oxygen Facial Mask. This is one of those bubbling masks that you put on, and it helps to kind of boost radiance, revitalize the skin. It's kind of like getting an oxygen facial. I had an oxygen facial at Bliss years ago, at Bliss Spa, and it just made my skin very bright and very radiant, very glowy, very fresh looking. I find it's nice. It's not my favorite kind of bubbly mask. I don't really know what my favorite bubbly mask is. I'm drawing a blank right now. If I think of it, I will mention it, but I'm not able to think of it right now, or think of one that I really love. I just thought this was okay. If you like kind of bubbly, foamy masks, and not foaming in the way that's going to strip your skin, it really helps to actually make it feel more hydrated, but it just, I don't know, did knock my socks off. Oh, this knocked my socks off. The Darfon Stimulus Skin Plus Serum Mask. Now, if you need a nice hydrating mask, I wish there was still some in here. There's hardly like any, there's nothing left. It's like this creamy, cooling cream. I wouldn't say it's a gel. It's definitely like a more of a rich cream. And you put it over your skin, and it's a mask. And then it really helps to kind of firm the skin, tighten the skin, hydrate the skin. And then I normally just I put on a thick layer, and then I remove it with like a warm washcloth and just press whatever's left into the skin. So it's like a serum and mask in one, because I really like to leave a little bit of a layer on there and press it into the skin. It's just, my skin always feels very plump, very firm, very fresh after using it. I mean, I love a lot of Darfon products, but this one especially, I have a lot of nice hydrating masks, but this has a little bit extra. I feel like it hydrates, but it also firms. It was like a little bit step extra, like a little bit more than a typical just regular hydrating mask. The Shiseido Urban Environment SPF. I finally finished this. I've been using it for years, and I just didn't need it as much because my skin hasn't been as oily, but it's a great mattifying SPF if you have oily skin. Works great as a makeup primer, works great to mattify the skin. It's fantastic. But my skin hasn't been as oily as it used to be, so I haven't been reaching for it. I finally finished it this summer, but I'm probably not going to repurchase it unless I see myself getting very oily again. However, that being said, when I was really oily, I couldn't be without this product. It is a wonderful, wonderful SPF. I feel like it gives a slight whitish cast to the skin, but I was able to kind of blend it in. It didn't alter the color of my makeup. But if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts. Oh, I finished the SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic Serum. This was a little bit, it's like a smaller size. I think it's like a travel size. And love this. That one and the CEO Serum are my two favorite vitamin C serums. I saw great results with both. I will say I like the texture of the CEO one a little bit better because it's creamy. This is a liquid. It's a little sticky, a little, but not enough to turn me off. But it really, I mean, you get great results with this. I feel that this does a little bit better job of kind of breaking up hyperpigmentation. The CEO made me look a little bit more radiant and even tone, but I definitely saw some fading of some hyperpigmentation more with this when I've used it. So both of those I highly recommend if you need a vitamin C serum. Oh, I finished like a tiny little one of the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. So that doesn't even count. Does it? It's like, those tiny ones, I mean, you finish it, but it's like, let's talk about the big stuff. Oh, I finished a fragrance, a little rollerball, Nest Indigo. If you've never tried Nest fragrances, if you've been following me for a while, you know, like, I have been a Nest fan for a very long time. Midnight Floor was my jam for a very long time. When it first launched, I was like, oh my gosh! But I love a lot of Nest fragrances. Indigo it's kind of warm. It's a warm, fruity scent. That's what you get. I'll link it below so you can see the exact notes. It's kind of I know what it smells like. Warm, fruity, warm, musky blackberries. I know, it's like, what? But yeah, in my mind, it's like warm, musky blackberries. Yeah. It's lovely though. A great, unique kind of winter fragrance because it has that fruity aspect to it. It's a little bit unexpected, but it's lovely. And oh, this Elemis Gentle Foaming Face Wash. I had been using this for a while and then stopped for a long time, and then I only had like a third or a quarter left, so I finally finished it. It's a creamy balm almost, so it foams up barely. Like the fact that it's called a Gentle Foaming Face Wash, I'm kind of like, can you change the name? Because I feel like it's gonna put a lot of people off. Because it's actually really creamy and wonderful for the skin. It's a great second cleanse, great morning cleanse, very gentle on the skin. But that foaming aspect, I'm like, it's not that foaming. It's actually really lovely. So it's kind of like a no muss, no fuss kind of nice second cleanse or morning cleanse. Okay, those are all my empties. Let me know if you finished anything. Let me know if you've finished anything noteworthy. I know we all finished stuff and we're kind of like, was that really, well, forget about that one. But, or if you've repurchased anything or you need to repurchase anything that you finished, love to know about that. I will link everything that I talked about down below, as well as this sweater. Oh my gosh, I talked about it. I bought it last winter. I feel like I have to talk about it real quick. This wrap sweater. If you guys love a cozy, comfortable, around the house sweater that you can also wear out, you guys know that around the house sweaters that you're like, that doesn't see the light of day. That just stays around the house. This is, I bought it last year and it's finally back in stock because it goes so fast every year. And it doesn't go fast in the summer, but as soon as the fall winter hits, like it's gone. So if you're into it and you're wanting to get it, I would get it immediately because they go so fast. But it's like this drapey fit. It snaps back here, so drapey, so comfortable, size down. But I don't know, it's like great for around the house, and then I can also throw on jeans and boots and go out in it and feel like I'm not wearing my Schlumpadinka sweater out. Do you guys know? Do you have Schlumpadinka sweaters? We all have Schlumpadinka sweaters. And yeah, so I'll link that down below as well, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.